All right, what's up, readers? Coming to you from Mexico. Wanted to give a short little video on Bitcoin. Let's check in on the chart, and I'm testing a new display method on Streamlabs. So let's see if this works a little better than my recent videos. Juicing my laptop. All right, so I've cleaned up this chart a little bit so that at the moment we are mainly working with our double top pattern. So the topping pattern that we had around 70K, our double top pattern with our support level here, which we broke through. And so now what we are doing is monitoring for that double top target, which is down here around 13K. Now this level matches up with our support zone here in gray. Our support zone is essentially just measured between the high of the 2017 cycle, the 20K, and the high after that right here, right? So just this candlestick here. So that's just our general zone, right? So just real simple, straightforward for right now, but that matches up with our double top target around 13K. We have the channel support as well coming up through, and it looks like my display method is not that much better, so sorry. Video is still going to be a little rough, but so really what we're watching for, you can see we're hanging out around that 20K level, right? So we're hanging out around that previous high at 20K. We're looking at the weekly chart. You can see we're just hanging around support, hanging around support. A lot of times when you see price kind of hanging around, you can sort of consider it like it's knocking on the door, meaning it's about to enter, meaning it's about to, it's very potentially going to break through. So the first thing is we have to touch the channel support. So we're waiting for channel support. We're going to touch channel support at some point. It's just a matter of how much more deeply do we spike into this support zone, and do we actually continue to the double top, double top pattern at around 13K. As of right now, I don't want to say prediction, but my prediction is that we probably spike quickly down into this area, down towards that target, and bounce back up. The best thing is that we spike down through, bounce back up, and we close above our channel support. We can close around it, a little below it, whatever, but we want to keep popping back up above that channel support. The absolute worst scenario is that we start closing below this channel support, below 13K. We get any closes below the channel support line, let's say 2 weeks in a row or something like that. That gets a little nerve-wracking. So we really just want to kind of spike and touch down to this level if it does happen, and bounce quickly back up into the channel support trend line there. So that's what we're looking for. Now, the good thing is that if we do spike down in here and we hit this double top target, that means that technical pattern has been completed, right? We'll have to kind of redo the analysis at that point in time, but that means that the this technical pattern break of the double top, we've completed that pattern, we've achieved the target. So it's a positive thing, meaning like, okay, so there's potentially opportunity for this to now turn back around. So we've retested 20K, potentially we've hit the double top double top target, and at that same time we will have retested the channel support trend line, right? So we're hitting all these support levels, meaning we're approaching either the bottom and a bounce, long-term bottom, long-term bounce back up to this long-term Bitcoin uptrend, or it all breaks, right? Or it gets worse and it breaks through everything and it breaks. So absolute worst case scenario, we start closing below these support levels that we've got going, and we just keep rolling over, down into, like Neff said, down into 10K. That would be really bad. We could spike down to 10K. We could spike lower below 13, but closing below this gray support zone, in my opinion, is bad, probably. So I guess that's all the analysis for now. Let's go down to daily, see if there's anything interesting. Yeah, okay, so this is almost turning into a bearish flag pattern right here. All right, so down at the lower level, shorter term, we got potentially a bearish flag. So let's just draw this out real quick, although I guess it's not really that quick. Okay, so we got a bearish flag pattern. So yeah, bearish flag pattern, which takes us almost down to, well, probably right to that 13K. So if we do the extension, just rough estimates, right? So yeah, so spiking down towards 13K. I mean, this takes us down into kind of 11, but this is just rough estimates, kind of rough estimates at the moment. But you can see how we have coinciding or converging kind of general support levels all around here. So a spike down into here, and ideal that bounce back up into the channel support, channel zone. There's another thing to keep in mind, though, which is we are at that 20K support. That 20K support is a very strong level because it was that previous high. And what we have not done yet is retested the double top support here, right? So we broke through and we haven't retested that. Usually, you know, you're always looking for a retest of a technical structure. We haven't retested, we just dropped straight through to 20K. So there's another potential option that we actually get some Bitcoin legs, move up here, retest that level, which would, we'd bounce off of that and we would come back down, well, potentially bounce off of that, right? And then come back down to 20K, this channel support level. And then it's a question of whether, you know, do we spike into that support zone to get the double top target, or do we bounce from here, right? So those are really, those are the options. Let me just kind of fulfill the arrows, right? So kind of these are all kind of the options, right? We spike through, ideally come back up, we bounce here, bounce, maybe spike down at that point over here instead, or we just bounce completely and come back up. And, you know, ideally this is what kind of happens. So this might be getting a little messy, but I think you get what I'm trying to say here. Cool, so that's really what we're watching here. So at this point, we're really watching, are we going to just spit back down or continue spitting down into the support zone to the double top target, or are we going to bounce here and get a retest of that double top support level, and probably most likely a rejection. All right, guys. Cheers for that. Give a like, subscribe. Appreciate it. Talk soon. Peace.